And, all the years, I've been through a whole number, what I'm saying, of, let's just say, crisis conditions, what I'm saying, for a prolonged period of time that never really did change. You know what I'm saying? It was, the weirdest thing. Everything from literally being threatened with the public, you know what I'm saying, to, being attacked, by the public. It just was a weird thing. A whole lot of deception, manipulation was all in the mix. You feel me? And a lot of people that society would praise, I didn't understand how they would praise them, because a couple years ago, they were willing to destroy them. You know what I'm saying? They was willing to destroy them, in far worse ways, you know what I'm saying? Like, to extort. It was like extortion. You know what I'm saying? I know if certain artists, I didn't just freely give over aesthetics, or I didn't just allow windows of time where they can take, ideas or things that I created, then they would try to, they was working the structures, and, they was using it to where they was able to catapult other people into the situation, and were using them with or without their knowledge to, to try to cause a lot of destruction, dramatic destruction. And I was writing poetry, and I made sacrifices because, as of, from 2000 way back, to now, certain things didn't happen. They hadn't happened to society. And though the threat was a very present and real, situation the whole time, and people they go on about their lives, and they don't even really know what's going on under the radar, you know what I'm saying? And these influential figures got horns, you feel me? Like, I don't understand, how people can support, certain things, it's not real. At one point in time, they was willing to destroy people, families and everybody, if they couldn't have their way, which is another man's art. You feel me? If they couldn't have that, and it's weird. And so, and then they also play into, a lot of what happened too, because in my early years, I told people about how I was getting bullied by influential figures and things. And it's just like a situation where, I started getting bullied. I guess I was being bullied and scouted by some, quote unquote idols, and beasts, that wanted, my aesthetics and, just qualities that, I don't know, it's intangible goods, intangible things that you can't just put your finger on, but, it's appealing, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, aesthetics and dynamics and stuff, and that's what it was. So the dragons and beasts started bullying me and praying down, studying me, abusing their mammon. Then they had the structures help to be able to do it and all of that, And what happened was they ended up getting whooped at their own game. You feel me? And that's really what happened. They was attacking me like this, and I wasn't even in a bracket. You feel me? I wasn't even in a bracket. I wasn't in a room. You feel me? I wasn't even in the lane. You know what I'm saying? But they were praying and reaching down. You feel me? They were reaching down on me. And from the positions of all they, their status and wealth and vast wealth and all of this. So it's strange. It seemed like a strange situation, but it's a true story. And they was reaching down on me, and attacking me, without my knowledge, without my participation. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not I was paying attention or not, there was nothing substantial that could be used or could have been used as a cause against me, and especially consistent with the time period and the circumstances of my life, it would have been, not something that was possible. You feel me? Like any of, this, like a lot of the slander and things they use to justify. It was just like a multifaceted. It was definitely a smear campaign, distortion campaign. I was getting attacked from all sides, and during the course of that attack, some influential figures' pockets was getting fed up. You know what I'm saying? They was getting increased from it. And what happened was they started, okay, even though I never got paid for anything that I ever created, I never got paid for a piece of art in my life. You know what I'm saying? Not my stuff, definitely not nobody else's stuff or nothing. I never got any kind of income, from it. So that separates us, for one. And for two, things ideas and stuff that I thought of that was taken, you feel me, or was assimilated into other people's bodies of work, shamelessly, You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that they got paid off that. You feel me? They got paid off that in a ball of confusion where everything else going on. They create a lot of, distractions on the left, and then, you know what I'm saying, on the right, you know what I'm saying, they doing this to, they take it, they use the bits and pieces, saying these unity, to simulate my stuff, while they know from what they already did to me, the constant void, that, so it's like I'm being attacked from like all directions, in that manner, as far as like my life, my personal life legacy, also my legacy, my art and things, and so I'm being attacked, and so it was unprovoked, you know what I'm saying, because they seen how my focus was. It was so unprovoked. It was so, it was a sense of void, and it was to the point where, so bad to the point where I actually had to learn, you know what I'm saying, about, I had to learn about being attacked. You know what I'm saying? Like, attack, the nature is something that I never, ever experienced in my life, or saw. You know what I'm saying? In addition to the fact that me being threatened with the public and things like that by such. And so, everything's singing a different song now. You know what I'm saying? But it was different back then. And until some people got what they wanted. They got their way. And and so it was weird like that, and so what happened was I was, like I talked to my last recent recording I made. You know what I'm saying? They was attacking me, in all these different ways. And they, they end up getting whooped. That's pretty much what it was. You know what I'm saying? They end up getting served with what they were doing to me. You know what I'm saying? They started attacking me, get bullied. And then I started just speaking facts, biblical facts and truth and things. And so that's what it was. It's just like, they picked a fight with the nerd, you feel me, or somebody, you know what I'm saying, that they felt as though it was an easy target or something, and they bullied them, and then they end up getting beat, you feel me, and then they tried to, after they got beat, they tried to start practicing my fighting style. You feel me? That's kind of like the situation to put in perspective. They start fighting, they start, practicing my fighting style, and that could be, that's comparable, that equates to them trying to, like, literally claim that my art was the art of, them or something like that. Something strange, just far-fetched, out the blue. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of situation it was. Like, and so I'm being, discriminated against by structures, you know what I'm saying, for defending my art against jealous artists and rappers. You feel me? And I'm experiencing things year round that the average person not having to go through for standing up for my creations and things as well. That everybody can see me right informally. You feel me? People see me all year, every year, create my stuff. And it's like they trying to like separate me from my identity. My claim is weird, like, cause my claim of fame and success was literary anyway, artistic, before, these dragons or whatever, they start going in, you know what I'm saying, like hard with this campaign against me, this premeditated campaign. And so I'm antagonized and demonized for being a man that's standing up for the things that I created. You feel me? Standing up for the things that I created with my hands, and and defending my character, integrity, and things of that nature from slander, misplaced slander that doesn't even fit. You know what I'm saying? The kind of person that I was and am. You feel me? So for saying that grass is green, you know what I'm saying, while they saying grass is purple, then I deserve exile, or to be thrown away, thrown out. And when you look at the situation, it's not me, me standing firm in my faith, which I have been doing for the last 8 years. Me standing firm in my faith now is the same as I've been doing all those years. You feel me? The situation changed, but it ain't changed much. Like it's like a lot of differences now, but I don't look at my life in reference to, the state of the society or the state of the economy. I look at my life in reference to what I was looking at it in reference to in 2013. You feel me? I'm on that side. Why should, there's no reason I would be obligated, to conform my life into what I know from witness, from experience, that influential figures were trying to conform my life into. They were trying to coerce me into, these adverse realities above my financial bracket and things on purpose in order to use those realities to counsel or to disinvent me anyway. You feel me? So my focus remained on the cross of the Lord, because that's what I started on. So to this day, at this very moment, that's the only reference points that I hold. You feel me? I'm not looking at everything else and then making my choices and decisions. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking to the Lord, to God, to the light, and then making my choices and decisions. You feel me? That's the same thing I've been on the last 8 years, whether or not they was present or was not present, whether or not they said what they said or did not say it, whatever. You feel me? I've been on the same journey the whole time. You feel me? Now, artists and stuff they doing all that. You feel me? They doing all this extra stuff, creating all these disturbances and things in society in order to try, you know what I'm saying, to like bait me and stuff. I mean, I never took the bait, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's the situation though. You know, I mean, it's been a weird, elaborate situation, and they have been obsessed with me for a long time. And if I stay to one place too long, you feel me? These artists from up those places, you know, which are connected to the same ones that was targeting me since 1994. You feel me? They got this cavalier, you know what I'm saying, non-stop lying, non-stop hatred agenda, like extreme jealousy, out this world cynicism. You know, and they very cavalier about it. And people that's from there share this same thing. Mostly it's a pattern. And I have no choice but to speak about reality. But I'm not speaking about it for it to conform my life into, you know, the false narrative or into the framing or the railroading that they wanted me to go in the first place. You feel me? It's not fair for my life to be subjected to things and me to be deprived opportunity in the land of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, jealous, influential figures took an opportunity, you feel me, in order to try to undermine or sabotage, the abuse, and breaking every law possible, you know, in the face of the law, while the law looking dead at them. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's and for me to be held, you know, to be given that deal of responsibility as if I was the one carrying a badge, you feel me, is not fair or right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm as a civilian and extraordinary artist, you feel me? I mean, I don't have a job in this, you know what I'm saying? Like in the structures and things. I never had, you know what I'm saying? I was just an artist. But because these artists doing this, and I guess their wealth put them above the law, then they justified some kind of way in what they did because of their wealth or their, you know, appearance or, you know, something like that. When I'm the victim and then I got to suffer more and undergo counseling with a situation I exposed before it ever snowballed to this point, you know. And given it, you know, being a regular person again, you know, I mean, as a regular person, that's the most possible you could do is bring awareness to the situation. You feel me? And that's been the situation the whole time. I mean, it's like no entity to enforce my rights, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, to reinforce my boundaries, you know, from these influences, because whatever reason they said that they were to root themselves in my life, I disbanded and disproved it. And so it's like, well, they was already there because, you know, they built it on falsehood. So it's like, well, man, they got to be extracted from my life, like, you know, because everything they doing is damaging my life. Everything they've been doing for the last 8 years has been causing me grief, damages, and, you know, to intellectual property, brand, and also my personal life, health, well-being, you know, and, you know, things, tons of other things that they did on the low that people don't even know about. So many hidden chapters, you know what I'm saying, I talked about, you know, that happened. I mean, it's an ever compounded situation. Well, that's what happened, man. I mean, they pretty much like, I was getting bullied, you know, by, I guess, the influential figures. And, you know, when they realized they started getting outclassed, then they tried to claim my stuff, literally, like that's totally, like, you know, out of mind, like, you know, that's like a cheap shot in a title fight. That's weird, like, it's weird like that, you know. People abuse, I guess, what they feel like they have longevity or something, you know, and they felt like they were entitled to somebody else's legacy that has absolutely no rational or logical, you feel me, correlation with what they had going on, except that, you know, the same places that was already crucifying the child, you know, from 94 to now, you know what I'm saying, try to catpaw wanted them to, you know, assist them in this irrational, you know, disinvention agenda on the legacy of the child really in advance. You know what I'm saying? All the way to this point by them seeing the power of God on my life in my early years. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel for the position that this, you know, that certain others got put into. But the reality is it's not you know, it's not my fault that they were put into these positions. You feel me? It's these artists that's standing right there next to them. You feel me? These influential figures, you know, are the ones that, you know, just single-handedly, you know, facilitated these circumstances. You know what I'm saying? With the intention, premeditated a purpose of disinventing a work for God. You know what I'm saying? A Christian ministry. You feel me? And that's the thing. And so, I mean, they, you know, they put themselves into the position. You know, the artists put everybody else into the position. You know what I'm saying? The extreme, excessive, you know, covetous and envy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, me being a creator and a regular artist, a creator, regular person, and an artist, you know, and an inventor. I mean, that's not even, I shouldn't even, you know what I'm saying, have to be in a position, you know what I'm saying, that they trying to like put me into, you know, like they got these ulterior motives for me and things that I'm not fond of, and I solemnly reject it. You know, so I want to do what I do. I want to create. I want to, you know, do art. Like, it's what I do. I create. So that in order to try to take that opportunity away from me, which is something they didn't even give. God gave me that. God gave me my talent and gift. But they sitting there blaspheming the Holy Spirit, the one unforgivable sin, you know what I'm saying, on like casually. They're sitting there blaspheming the Holy Spirit in order to try to extract my talent, my skill, my ability away from me by trying to attribute it to people, somebody, a beast. You know what I'm saying? That's what they are, beasts, demonic beasts. They got nothing to do with it. You feel me? They got absolutely not one thing to do with it, but they're trying to use the beast, you feel me, in order to, you know, like kind of strip away my qualities, you feel me, in a way, so that leaves me vulnerable to, you know, excessive race and religion crimes. You know what I'm saying? Also, just for people doing things that, you know, extreme jealousy, that some type of premeditated agenda that these places, cities, you know, had, you know what I'm saying, pre-planned for my life early on, all the way to now. You feel me? Everybody that ever did anything horrific to the life of Elijah, you know, got origins at that place. You feel me? Not just the facts. It's weird, but it's facts. You know what I'm saying? Totally unprovoked. I mean, just God's people. You know what I'm saying? Me and mine just God's people. You know, it's a true story though.